and welcome to today's session. I'm so happy to be here with you. I see my team. I see your lovely faces. And hi to everybody watching us on social media. You are welcome. You are so welcome. Guys, today's topic is so important because we know many people are in trouble. Many people are having debt issues. The other day, I was driving around a neighborhood. I saw one of my longtime customers, and she said, "Nikki, guess what? I need help. Oh my God. I bought this house and I went crazy." I said, "You went crazy? Why? Why did you go crazy?" But today, I believe I have some nuggets. I have some tips and tricks to share with you that will help you to get out of debt and stay out of debt. All right, so I'm going to get right into my presentation today. Is someone saying something? I'm not sure. All right. All right, let me go ahead and share my desktop with you guys. And then let's see. How are we going to go about this now? All right. Can everyone see my slide? Can you hear me well?
Yes, Nikki.
Okay, beautiful. All right. So how to be debt-free in 2024. How to be debt-free in this year. I'm going to go straight to our agenda. And our agenda is quite simple, but it's deep and it's powerful. The first thing that I'm going to talk about is mastering the mind. Oh my gosh, this is like 80% why people get into debt. Your mind, how your mind works. What is your mind telling you while you're currently in debt right now? Then we're going to go over understanding money. We're going to talk about understanding systems. And then we're going to do some practical skills. And I have some bonus things for you. All right. So if you're not registered, go ahead and register. Peter, is it platinumkeyevents.com?
Yes, Nikki.
Yes.
PlatinumKeyEvents.com.
Great. Because if you're registered and you're on Zoom, you can ask questions. If you're watching us on social media, you're only able to watch. But if you have questions, it's good to register so you can be on the Zoom. All right, so let's get into mastering the mind. All right, mastering the mind. So the first thing that I have is practice mindfulness. Practice mindfulness. Be present in the moment and pay attention to your thoughts and emotions without judgment. Meditation and deep breathing exercise can help you increase your mindfulness. Now, guys, this is something that I experienced where I'm going to go ahead and mute you, Angie. Sorry about that. Let's mute you so everyone can hear. This is something that I experienced. Sometimes, like, my mind is in a fog. There are so many pieces, so many things going around, and I don't have like a oneness of mind. So in this first skill here, which is practicing mindfulness, you want to try to eliminate that fog. And you do that through meditation, breathing, exercising. Just try to practice to get your mind under control and to have that fog lifted. Now, someone may be saying, Nikki, what does this have to do with getting out of debt? Guys, if your mind isn't clear, if the fuzz isn't out, that's when we make choices that lead us in the wrong path. Number two, I have challenge negative thoughts. Negative thoughts, replace them with positive thoughts and positive patterns. I find this to be true. Have you ever heard this in your mind? I get this a lot. I'm 40 years old and I'm not where I'm supposed to be. I'm 50 years old and I'm not where I'm supposed to be. I'm 60 years old and I'm not where I'm supposed to be. So guess what? I know it's not a good choice, but I'm just gonna go ahead and buy that convertible car. Oh my God. I'm just gonna go ahead and do it and just buy it. Those are negative thoughts. Those aren't practical thoughts. Those aren't healthy thoughts. That's actually, the voice of the enemy telling you things about yourself that's not true, which works against you to make decisions and choices that are not good. Then I have setting goals. Define your long-term goals and your short-term goals. Give yourself direction and purpose. Break down your goals into smaller tasks to make them more manageable. So work with goals instead of spur of the moment activity. Just getting up one day and says, this is what I'm going to do. Even if it comes to you like that, go ahead and write it down as a goal so that you can build in some steps of how to get there without getting into debt. Then I have develop resilience. Learn to bounce back from setbacks and failures by viewing them as opportunities for growth. Cultivate a positive mindset and focus on your strengths. We know that setbacks are a part of life. There is no way we can go through life without having a setback. But when we're in those low places, be mindful. Be mindful. I have a family member, when there is a setback or a challenge, they go shopping. They go, oh, I don't feel good. So they go to the store and they shop and shop and shop till they drop. Now, they're using their credit card, and that credit card is going up because at that time, in that low place, the mind has to be intact so we don't make emotional choices. All right, guys. So I'm continuing today because I'm hammering on this mind. I want my mind to be clear, and I want your mind to be clear, because in 2024, we're not going to be in debt. We're getting out of this rut and we're going into a beautiful place. For number 5, I have take care of your physical health. Exercise regularly. Guys, I love to take walks. I love to take walks. Managing my life, my business, my family is a lot. I don't know about you, if you're married, if you have children, if you have your business, your job, you work in your church, different things, it can be a lot. So taking time to do a physical activity, walking, going to the gym, doing something physical. I was speaking to this lady the other day. She says, I garden. I go in my garden and I walk around. So doing that helps your mind, gives you that clarity. Then I have seek support. Surround yourself with positive and supportive people who will encourage you to be your best self. Guys, we know, show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are. Make sure your friends, the ones that are in your sphere, the ones that are surrounding you, talking into this air, are positive. They're helping you to become the best you. They will tell you, no, buying this is not good. Not the ones that will just agree and say, yes, let's go on a shopping spree. Let's blow that credit card. Let's use this money that has been set aside for something like this, for something it was not intended to be. You want some good friends that will help to encourage you. Number 7, practicing gratitude. Practicing gratitude. I'm telling you, if you practice being grateful, whatever you have now, it will help you to be satisfied. We know that getting into debt sometimes have to do with you're just not satisfied. Whatever you have right now is not enough. You just want a little bit more. So you use that card, you buy that thing. It wasn't really necessary, but trust me, if you just practice gratitude, whatever I have right now, I'm so grateful for it. I thank you for it. It will help to eliminate that voice in your mind that's telling you to go more. Then number 8, learn to manage stress. For many of you, you live in America, and this is a stressful country at times. You have to manage the stress living here because everything is moving, everything is big, everything is fast. You got to pay taxes, you got to pay tolls, you got to do everything to stay on track, and it can be so stressful. Life can be stressful. Identify your stress triggers and develop healthy coping mechanisms such as relaxation techniques. Sometimes, guys, I have to go and take a massage. I have a membership for these things. I have to take a timeout. I'm like, everybody, timeout. Nikki has to go take a timeout. I have to deal with my stress and manage it in a way that I don't create unhealthy habits. So that is mastering your mind. All right, let's get into understanding money. Understanding money. Anybody has any questions on mastering your mind? Any questions or any comments? Guys, anybody saying anything, or are we good to go?
We're good to go, Nikki.
We're good to go. Okay, understanding money. I just have two things on this slide. Cash is king. Cash is king and credit is key. Cash is king. If you have your cash, I'm telling you, you want to try to save your cash as much as you can and use your cash for things that are really significant. You know, cash is king. I've seen people where they'll get their paycheck and their paycheck will go into their account. And when it's there in their account, they just start paying bills, like just paying bills until the whole paycheck is done. They didn't sit down and see how they can preserve some of that cash, how they can set aside piece of it to go towards a down payment for a house, how they can set aside some extra to go ahead and pay down that credit card. They don't understand the power of having cash. Do you know if you have cash and say you even have a credit card and the credit card is in trouble and you need to make a settlement, if you have cash and you can make a negotiation and pay that card off, you are good to go. So cash is king. So when you get your paycheck or when you get that check, don't try to blow all your cash. Try to save cash aside so you can take advantage of things that require cash. And then I have credit is key. Credit is key. You got to have your credit cards and different things in place to cover things, and you have to understand how to use these cards. Having credit cards aren't bad. You just have to learn how to use them. So you can go to our channel on YouTube. We have many videos on understanding credit, dealing with credit cards, how to get credit cards and understanding them. So you can go to our YouTube channel. I believe it's Platinum Key Realty on YouTube, and you'll be able to see many videos about credit. So cash is king and credit is key. All right. So now we're going to do understanding systems. Systems. Understanding system. Guys, you have to think about this very well. Everything is managed by a system. In this world, it's run by different systems. You have to understand them, and you have to know which one applies to you and which one you can use to benefit you. We're talking about debt today. how to get out of debt in 2024. The first system I have is a budgeting system. Create a budget to track your income, expenses, and savings. This will help you manage your money effectively and make informed financial decisions. You have to think like the CEO of your life. You have to be in charge of your life. You can't be a backseat driver. You have to sit in the front seat. One way to run your life as if you're sitting in the front seat and you're the CEO is to run your operation from a budget. Yes, from a budget. A few years ago, I'm not saying my age, I used to have a big household. My children were young. I had my husband, everybody in the house. And what I did as the mom of the house, I ran the house on a budget. And you know what it helped me to track? At the time, my kid's father was having a field day at Costco. He was a Costco fanatic. I was able to catch it because I was running the house on a budget. I was able to nip it and say, okay, this is the budget for Costco. We can't go overboard because you know when you go to Costco, BJ's and Sam's, we can get a little overboard because everything is in bulk. Everything looks so beautiful and you just start loading the cart, buying things that are totally unnecessary. If you agree with me, if you know what I'm talking about, you can put some emojis, some thumbs up in the chat because you know what I'm talking about. So you have to run your life like a CEO in the front seat. One way to do that is using a budget. Track your income, your expenses. Where is my money going? How am I saving? Then number 2 here is a saving system. Establish a saving system to set aside money for emergencies, future goals, retirement, etc. You have to have some kind of systematic savings because most times we don't do it on our own. We don't have the discipline to put aside savings on our own. So it's good to have a saving system. If you have one of those accounts where automatically it can take out $50, $100 and putting a separate account from your regular checking account, that can help you to save and set aside money. And especially if you're looking to buy a home, this will help you. You want to start stacking away money for that down payment through systematic processes. Then we have investment system. Develop an investment strategy based on your financial goals, your risk tolerance, and your time horizon, right? You got to think bigger than just a saving systems. So another deeper way of saving and creating wealth is having an investment system. Got to think about it. So we said budgeting system, saving system. Now we're talking about investment system. So these are how you're going to run your life to help you to stay out of debt by having systems. So you want to do investments. You got to sit down and you're going to have a strategy for doing your investments. Then you have debt management system. You have to manage your debt. Guys, I'm stressing because it's coming to me very strong that we have to run our households as if we're running our business. It is a business. So you have to sit around that kitchen table and you have to look at these things and write it out. Write it out. Debt management system. How much am I spending on my credit cards? Are my credit cards actually going down or are they going up? Make sure you're looking at the statements. Is the interest rates going up? If the interest rates are going up, one quick tip, you can call that credit card company and you can say, here it is. Am I qualified for a lower interest rate? Am I qualified for a lower interest rate? And they'll let you know if you can have a lower interest rate versus what you're looking at your statement. So that's your debt management system. All right. Then we have income generation system. So now I know many people have jobs, and then at times our jobs doesn't provide enough income. So we have to come up with a way to have a side hustle, to have some passive income streams, some investments coming in to boost your income. It's something you have to sit and think about it and put it into action. It has to be a part of your plan. It's not just going to happen randomly. It's something you have to be intentional and purposeful about. An income generating system. What can I do outside of my 9 to 5 that will give me X amount of dollars? That's not going to make me super tired. That's not going to take away from my family. I can do it with ease, and I can produce X amount of dollars. Then we have tax planning system. We got to understand, for those of us who live in tax-paying countries, we got to make sure we're planning for our taxes and the different things that we do that will cause us to owe more taxes, how we plan for that. We have insurance systems. Insurance is super, super important. I have been a licensed insurance salesperson for many years before, and insurances are very, very important to protect your assets and to be able to cover the gap in so many places. So you want to make sure you're looking at your insurance and make sure that system is working fine and everything is in place. Then next, I have your estate planning system. Create an estate plan that includes a will, trust, power of attorney, and ensure your assets are distributed according to your wishes if anything should happen. So that's just a bonus throwing in there, having an estate planning system. Guys, if any of these systems resonate with you or you want to talk more about it, at the end of the slide, we'll have the contact numbers. Just go ahead and call and book a one-on-one. I'll be happy to talk to you and point you in the right direction to resources that we have or connections that we have that can take care of some of these things. All right. So now we're into practical skills. We're rounding down. We're winding down. Practical skills. So you're going to hear some of these words again. It's just helping you to layer. So number one practical skill, make your budget. Make your budget. Create your budget to track your income, expenses, and see where your money is going. Number two, you got to list your debts. Make a list of all your debts, including money you owe, the interest rates, and the minimum monthly payments. This will give you a clear picture of what you need to tackle, how you need to tackle it. And then I did give you a tip about getting a lower interest rate just by calling. And then right here, I want to talk a little bit more when you have your credit cards and your debts. Right here are some other tips. If you have a small credit card, like you owe $200 or $300 and you're able to just eliminate that card, just go ahead and pay it off. Pay off the little ones and get rid of it. It will give you a sense of achievement. Pay those things off. Then the bigger cards, you want to make sure you're calling and getting a lower interest rate. Then you start tackling the cards one at a time. As you hit one off and it's off, then you go ahead and do the next one. So you list your cards down, you list the payments, you list the interest rates, and then the highest rates one, you want to attack them. So the other ones, you can pay the minimum. the highest interest rate, attack it with all your extra funds and get it out of here. Once it goes, you roll that money to the next one and you attack all the cards until they're gone. All right? Prioritize your debts. Consider using the debt snowball method, paying off the smallest debt first. That's what I just said. I spoke it before I read it. Then setting SMART goals. Number 4, define specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound goals for paying off your debt, right? Write it in a goal. Like my daughter, she's 23 years old. What she did is when she got her tax refund, she just went ahead and paid off her credit card. She just paid it off in full. Mom, I paid it off in full, so it's gone. All right? So you want to make sure that you have goals. And then let me hit, because I know everybody's getting their tax refund. I have seen this with my own eyes. People that are getting their refunds, they're using the refunds to buy brand new iPhones, all these things that doesn't make sense. Guys, if you're listening to me, I want you to listen. Don't do that. Go ahead and use that money to pay off or pay down one of those credit cards or some debt that you own. You will have peace of mind. You'll be able to relax and stay healthy and have less wrinkles if you do that versus buying a new iPhone. Yes, I said it here. Don't use your tax returns for things like that. Now you want to cut your expenses. Look for areas where you can reduce your spending to free up more money for debt repayment. Reduce your expenses, right? Eating out less. Not having that coffee at Starbucks. Going through your credit card statement and looking for all the subscriptions that you don't even use. Oh, I did that the other day. I was like, what? I'm paying for Paramount. I'm paying for all these things that I don't use. I don't even know how I subscribed. I went through that and I cut all those things. Find ways to lower your utilities. Okay? Find ways to lower your utilities. Now, I want to stick a tip right in here because it's coming to my mind now. When you have your utility bills, you know I said cash is king. Cash is king. What you want to do, say you made a saving system plan. Listen to me carefully so you can follow. You have a saving system plan. And in the plan, you need to put money or do an automatic transfer somewhere because you don't want to mess up that system you created. But now your utility bills are due. What you can do is call the utility company. Most times for free, they'll extend the bill out for free. So you don't have to pay it on that day. So for that check, you're able to pay your savings or your investment or whatever you're doing. And then the next check, you can pay that utility bill. All right? So I hope that nugget works for somebody listening to me today. Then increase your income. Finding ways to increase your income, such as a part-time. We spoke about this on the system, having that side hustle. Then number 7 says, stay committed, stay focused on your goal of becoming debt-free, and remind yourself of the benefits of financial freedom. Remind yourself what it feels like to not have any stress about bills and what's coming up and, oh my God. And, I was just thinking about it the other day. I had another client, I was talking to them, and they have so many cars and they paid off all their cars. And now when they had a huge hurdle in their business and things didn't go too well, they were rest assured they didn't have payments on some of their assets because they were focused in becoming debt free. So guys, having things paid off is great. Having the peace of mind is great. Stay focused and keep committed to being debt free. Number 8 says, celebrate your milestones. As you pay off each debt, celebrate your progress. You know why? It will encourage you to keep going and going and going. Reward yourself for reaching milestones that can help you stay motivated to continue on your debt-free journey. All right. So now we are at our bonus slide. This is our bonus slide. I was thinking about this the other day, and I just wrote it out, and I want to share it with you. It says there is an easier way to get to your final destination. Wherever you see yourself in this life, whatever you want to be, wherever you want to go, there's an easy way to get there. There is actually a blueprint or a roadmap. The first step is to have clarity. We spoke so much about the mind today. Have clarity of purpose is vital to successful planning. You got to know who you are and where you're going. You have to have full clarity to reach that final destination. Once you have clarity, you will look at where you want to be and work your way backward. Let me explain that a little deeper. Say you want to be a doctor. You want to be a pediatrician or a heart surgeon. You want to have that clarity to know, yes, this is what I want to be when I grow up. That is what I want to be. Then you see yourself doing that thing and you begin to trace back to where you are today. Then everything you thought about tracing back, you begin to write them down in little goals that you can achieve to take you from where you are right now to where you want to be. In that way, you'll be able to successfully map the steps that will bring you to your final destination. Guys, it is that simple. It is that simple. Now, as we round up in today's session, we spoke about how to be debt-free in 2024. We covered the mind, so super important. We talk about cash is king, credit is key. We talked about systems and managing your life like a CEO, like a boss, not passive in the back seat and have your life and your bills just, they're just on autopilot. You want to be in the driver's seat. You want to make sure you're managing everything that has to do with your finances. We spoke about all of that today. Now, as I round up, I want to tell you about a series that we have on YouTube called Recipes for Success. Every month, I am doing my very best to bring to you content from my own personal life and journey that helped me to be where I am today. The series we're talking about is how to make more money in 2024. We're using the scriptures. We're using the book of Daniel. I believe it's Daniel chapter 2 to dig deep into how Daniel was successful and how he was able to rise in the way he did. And we're breaking it down. We're breaking it down into how to make more money in 2024. So if you are not on our YouTube channel, if you're not a subscriber, I want you to go ahead and subscribe to our channel. Tune in to Recipes for Success, and we have many other wonderful content there. Now, this is our contact information. If you're watching and you want to buy a house, you want to You want to learn more about financing, you want to go ahead and contact Kent. Kent is there, everybody. Kent, wave to everybody. Kent is here.
Hello.
His phone number is 321-329-8720. So you want to go ahead and call Kent directly, or you want to drop him an email. And if you have property management questions, you're an investor, you want to be an investor, you have properties that you need someone to manage, you want to call and speak to Zyrene. The phone number is 407-339-2937. And if you have a credit question, or you want to start an LLC, or you want to say hello, or you want to find out how something works, you want to go ahead and call me at 229-416-2744. You can go ahead and text that number as well, or you can send me an email, and I'll be happy to respond.